There we go. All right. Before we get started, I wanted to let everyone know that this ceremony is being professionally recorded and that the video will be available immediately after the ceremony. And we have several professional photographers here today, and the details of how to view the photos in video can be found in the last page of your commencement program. And please silence your cell phones. My name is Paul Dayton. I am the chair of the Lampe Joint Department of Biomedical Engineering, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all here to our 2026 graduation ceremony. This event concludes many years of challenging study to confer degrees upon our hardworking and talented students. Wow, this place is packed. And it's no wonder our department is now the second largest biomedical engineering department in the United States. Furthermore, with nearly 70% of our graduates that go into industry staying here in North Carolina, we're the largest contributor to the biomedical engineering workforce in the state. And according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, biomedical engineering is one of the fastest growing career paths nationally and one not likely to be replaced by AI. So to our graduates and parents, you have chosen wisely. As you look out onto our graduates today, you will see both red and blue graduating together. The Lampe Joint Department of Biomedical Engineering is a unique program. We bring together Wolfpack and Tar Heel with the unified mission to beat Duke. Our department brings together Wolfpack and Tar Heel with the mission to unite engineering and medicine to improve lives. Our department embodies a groundbreaking collaboration in education and research between the UNC system's two world-class universities at Chapel Hill and Raleigh. All of our students and faculty have full status on both campuses, which enables our students to receive diverse training and research opportunities that far exceeds that would be otherwise possible at a single institution. Thus, all of our biomedical engineers, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral students tonight will be graduating with both North Carolina State University and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Every diploma is conferred from both universities and has the seals of both NC State and UNC Chapel Hill. I bet you didn't think when you were paying that tuition bill that you would get 2 for 1. Ours is not an easy program. Rigorous from the beginning, only the most accomplished students are even enrolled in BME to start. From there, they take more classes than almost all other majors, and almost all of these classes are very difficult. They're required to study math, physics, circuits, mechanics, controls, biology, physiology, molecular biology, and more. And as part of their studies, they need to apply what they have learned. They interact with doctors, nurses, therapists, and other clinical professionals to learn the areas of technological need in medicine. They then apply their engineering skills to conceptualize, design, test, validate, and deliver technologies from bench to bedside. Several years later, here we are. Our graduates with us today are now uniquely skilled and well qualified to enter a highly competitive, highly technical, and also well-compensated workforce. All they need is a diploma. And with that, it's time to begin today's ceremony. And to continue our proceedings, I will turn the microphone over to Dr. Matthew Fisher, our Director of Graduate Studies, who will introduce our graduate speaker.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms in the audience. It is my pleasure to introduce Emily Eichenlaub as our graduate student speaker. Emily joined our program in the fall of 2021 after receiving her bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering from the University of Delaware. Her dissertation work, under the direction of Dr. Jason Franz, focused on age and dementia-related differences in proactive and reactive balance in response to balance challenges, while also improving the clinical translation of wearable sensors to measure and detect instability in patient populations. Emily has published 2 first author and 2 co-author publications, and with 3 additional publications under review. She has presented her work more than 13 times at local, national, and international meetings. She received a National Institutes of Health National Research Service Award Predoctoral Fellowship in 2024, and the PhD Student Achievement Award from our department in 2025. And if that wasn't enough, Emily also completed an internship with Brooks Running, researching biomechanically informed footwear design. In BME, we also strongly encourage our students to be impactful members of their community. Here, Emily has also shined in multiple leadership roles. She obtained a Women in Biomechanics Outreach Grant to support K-12 outreach on National Biomechanics Day. She also served as social chair for our department's Graduate Student Association and the secretary of the American Society of Biomechanics Triangle Chapter. Since defending her dissertation in March, Emily has accepted a position as a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Utah, where she will study AI-driven technologies to provide meaningful insights into patient recovery and inform clinical decision-making during physical rehabilitation following stroke. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Eichenlaub.
Thank you, Dr. Fisher. 4 months into my PhD, I watched $2,000 disappear in a desperate attempt to keep my degree on track. I spent my first semester balancing classes and qualifying exams and collecting what I thought was an impressive amount of data for my dissertation. I thought I was ahead of schedule, and I couldn't wait to have a relaxing winter break at home with my family. Monday morning, after sleeping in, unpacking casually, and slowly sipping coffee on the couch, I sat down to work like a responsible student that I am. I plugged in my hard drive, planning to analyze some of the data I had collected so far. Nothing happened. I unplugged it and plugged it back in. Nothing. I tried a different port. Still nothing. My hard drive was dead and my data was gone. Panic set in. So I did what I was training to do. I researched. And I discovered something called a clean room. A clean room is a sterile, contaminant-free environment. NASA used a clean room to build Artemis II. And a guy named Sonny in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, uses a clean room to repair broken hard drives for desperate PhD students. My mom, who deserves endless credit every day, but especially today on Mother's Day, drove me 90 minutes to see Sonny, and I cried in the passenger seat the whole way there. 3 weeks later, I got the news. My hard drive was officially dead, and my data was gone. I was certain that when I confessed what happened to my advisor, Jason Franz, he was going to fire me. When I finally told him, he said, "I'm sorry to hear that. That's okay, we can make it work." No lecture, no disappointment, just we can make it work. I could have saved myself $2,000 and a lot of tears if I had just called him first. That was the first real lesson of my PhD. Ask for help sooner. Our professors, advisors, and mentors have been through their own version of this. As Jason once told me, the only difference between you and me is our amount of experience. So, I started talking to people with a lot more experience than me. Professors, postdocs, industry professionals. And I asked them one question. What is the one skill that got you to where you are today? Nobody said coding. Nobody said CAD. Nobody said bioinstrumentation. They all spoke to the soft skills, the things that don't show up on your transcript or your resume: resilience, curiosity, compassion. As graduates of the Lampe Joint Department of Biomedical Engineering, we leave here with an exceptional education. Every one of us sitting here today already has the technical skills. What is going to make the difference for us is how we apply them. The soft skills will set us apart. As biomedical engineers, we live at the intersection of technology and medicine. We don't just solve problems, we solve human problems. We don't design for convenience, we design for bettering and saving lives. So, to my fellow graduates, as we move on to our next chapter, I urge us to do 3 things. First, lead with empathy. Start every project the way we were trained, by defining who needs what and why. Who are we hoping to help? What challenges do they face every day? And how can we meaningfully improve their lives? The patient is the point. Second, build with intention. Just because we can build something does not mean we should. Whether it's a medical device, a therapy, or a research grant, our work must be grounded in purpose. Third, protect your curiosity. Our education is far from over. No matter how specialized our careers may become, I hope you maintain a broad desire for knowledge. That is where innovation happens. I have no doubt each of us will be technically excellent in our careers. What will define our careers is how we show up. Lead with empathy, build with intention, protect your curiosity. That's how we will make this field better and many lives along with it. Congratulations, class of 2026.
It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Naji Hussaini, one of our esteemed faculty who needs no introduction to biomedical engineering students. Dr. Hussaini has been recognized consistently as one of the top educators at both NC State University and UNC Chapel Hill for the last decade. This year, Dr. Hussaini was honored as a recipient of the George H. Blessis Outstanding Undergraduate Advisor Award, a prestigious award at NC State's College of Engineering that recognizes faculty members for exceptional advising, mentoring, and counseling of students. Frankly, I'm not really sure where he's going to put his plaque, as Dr. Hussaini has also been awarded the NC State Outstanding Teacher Award, the College of Engineering Faculty Advancement Award, the NC State Alumni Association Advancement Award, the UNC Chapel Hill Johnson Teaching Excellence Award, and he has also been inducted into the Academy of Outstanding Teachers. Dr. Hussaini instructs all of our students, regardless of which campus they call home. Year after year, Dr. Hussaini repeatedly receives the most nominations as graduate speaker. Why, you may ask? Well, as the students put it, to quote, Naji is nothing short of a demigod. His respect and attention towards every student in his class is obvious, and his material is top-notch. Another student commented, quote, Naji's exceptional qualities as an instructor made a profound impact on my educational experience, setting him apart as one of the most outstanding mentors I've ever had the privilege to learn from. We paid that student a lot. In this year's end of semester feedback, the students concluded that Dr. Hussaini does not, in fact, require oxygen, as indicated by his capacity to deliver long, information-dense, unbroken lectures, and by his capacity for long-distance running. To clarify the latter point to the audience about running, Since Dr. Husseini is incapable of watching science fiction movies for fun due to his frustration with the overwhelming physics inaccuracies, he's instead pivoted to the less stressful hobby of running 200-mile ultramarathons for a refreshing break from teaching college-level engineering. Dr. Husseini is an exceptional and passionate teacher who cares deeply about all of his students, and we are proud to have him as part of BME's team. It is therefore no surprise, then, that Dr. Husseini has been selected again to give the undergraduate address for the 2026 graduation ceremony. Dr. Husseini.
Thank you, Dr. Dayton, for the introduction. And students, you always complain about dad jokes. I mean, come on. I've been telling them long before I ever was a dad, before Thea was born, which, yeah, makes me a faux pas. Doesn't get much better than that, folks, but here we go. Welcome, graduates, families, friends, and most importantly, the mothers who are getting the greatest gift of all, the end to bills and begging for money. I am honored to address you students one last time, though I'm surprised you haven't had enough of me after 1, 2, 3, or even 4 classes like Declan has dealt with. In my last lecture ever to you, I'd like to tell you why your current career plans are wrong. But before that, seeing Wolfpack Red and Carolina Blue mixed in front of me like goblet cells and colonocytes in the rectal wall is incredible. It's good to see these colors because we didn't see much of them in the men's basketball bracket this year. We saw much more of a certain shade of blue, and no, I'm not talking about Duke, I'm talking Michigan. Go blue. But before you walk out in disgust expecting me to next talk about North Carolina winter drivers, we have common ground. Let us all share a laugh at Dr. Duke Carty, who attended both the February UNC Duke and the UConn Duke quarterfinals games in person and can only badmouth words at me silently because she has laryngitis. Once again, congrats on successfully analyzing aliens, linking 4 bars, modeling penguin feces trajectories, pitching impossible design projects, and thinking that Dr. Carty was the department chair until Dr. Dayton welcomed you here. And now, oh, the places you'll go, right? Start your new industry job, climb the promotion ladder, become a manager, and retire with a huge pension at 65 from that same company. Or go to med school. Finally start your professional life at 40. Look at everyone's rash and be able to afford gas. Or enter grad school, do a postdoc, become a professor, panhandle at the NIH level, and then finally retire when a student says her grandmother had the same alien question on her 301 final as you. We have trained you to excel at all these careers, and we genuinely hope that you will follow one of these paths. However, ask the adults later today if their lives tracked along such a trajectory, if only it were that easy. The average US college grad changes careers 6, 7 times in their lifetime, and companies are facing major uncertainties in at least the short term. It's unlikely that you'll stay with that company for decades. Medicine is changing, with consolidation of private practices to major centers and outsourcing of jobs abroad or to AI. Academia is not immune to disruption either, whether due to online courses, micro-credentialing programs, unreliable federal funding, fewer tenure-track positions, or clueless tech bros canceling funding to transcranial imaging. Your perfect career plan may be as useless as a Gen AI ban on a take-home exam. So be flexible. The noted Scottish poet Robert Burns warned us about the trouble with the best-laid schemes of mice and men, as did Swift with, just because you make a good plan doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. That's Taylor, not Jonathan. Life is a stochastic process. And as you know from statistics or even my programming class, extrapolation is always risky. It is based on prior data and assumed future conditions. You are graduating now because we have a strong trust in your foundation, and we believe we have ample prior data to extrapolate great things from you. The farther from graduation, though, the more chaotic and unpredictable your life will be. Maybe your current extrapolation from graduation will be realized, but be realistic. It won't, and that's okay. Going forward, 3 broad factors will determine your life's journey. and acknowledging them will help guide you to success amidst unpredictability. The first is preparing for opportunities. You've been doing that. You've been book-smaxing. We've been forcing you. Don't stop. The second is recognizing and taking advantage of opportunities. You might get a chance, but if you don't jump at it or even know that it's there, it's useless. The final one, unfortunately, is the sine qua non of life: luck. The events or circumstances that operate for or against an individual, per Merriam-Webster. But more accurately, luck can be good and bad and are hard to categorize at times. From Cormac McCarthy's novel No Country for Old Men, you won't find Dr. Dayton there, you never know what worse luck your bad luck has saved you from. Your goal going forward is to accept its role in your life and guide its perspective in your favor. Now, while the plural of anecdote is not data, let me nevertheless cite 2 anecdata points that illustrate how preparation, recognition, and fortune can lead to unanticipated successes in life. And graduates, if you're thinking N equals 2, what the shigma? Stats isn't low-key statsing, professor. Well, yeah, I don't know what I just said either, but I respond YOLO. My degrees are in physics, and physics prepared me with a fundamental understanding of everything with a diverse array of classes, much like BME has done for you. At my graduation, they told me that job offers would flock to me like students to puppies during finals week, and therefore I was prepared for nearly any opportunity. After following my wife, Professor Cole, to the triangle without a job secured, companies instead were as interested in me as my students when I give them love advice. Interested? Well, here's an example. Watch Iron Man with someone special. Put your arm around their shoulder and whisper into their ear, "Hey, cool movie, huh?" But a rigid suit decelerating from 100 miles per hour would feel 2 meganewtons of force, and assuming inner and outer diameters on the femur of 1.5 and 3 millimeters causes about 4 gigapascals of stress and compressive shock waves throughout that would make him into a meaty bone broth. Anyhow, for more than 4 months after coming to North Carolina, I was unemployed and got bored very quickly. Going from busy and intellectually stimulated as a PhD student to running marathons and digitizing family pictures was extremely difficult. I applied to all the physics, material science, and semiconductor-related industry jobs that were looking for PhDs. Nothing. Even my fellow physicists at the local universities, who would actually appreciate the Iron Man calculation, repeatedly turned me down. Right around Christmas, Dr. Carty emailed the BME faculty, including my wife, desperate for an instructor for 345, a solid mechanics class some of you are too familiar with. Professor Peter Menti, that course's beloved instructor, was seriously ill, and his replacement for the spring semester had just taken a full-time job elsewhere. Dr. Carty probably just needed a warm body to list as the instructor of record, and I registered 310 Kelvin. I spoke with Dr. Carty by cell phone while she was in Mississippi, rejuvenating her drawl at an astrobiology cochlear implant conference. And over time, I got a dose of CAR T-cell therapy as she reassured me and said I might be underprepared, but I couldn't be worse than what they do in mechanical engineering. This was a golden opportunity, looking at me square in the face, and I was hesitating. She eventually convinced me to consider teaching the course, but I wanted more information. Dr. Menti's notes were in his locked office on campus, and since it was winter break, I couldn't get there to review them. I finally got in on a Friday in January, went through some scattered notes, and pulled some disorganized files off his computer. I soon realized I knew about 10% of the class. 3 days later, I was teaching the class. 2 weeks earlier, I hadn't even known this class existed. The opportunity went well enough that, when a full-time position in BME was posted, initially created for someone else, I still managed to apply and get the job. Biomedical engineering. I would have looked at you as confused as a tariffed penguin if you had told me at graduation that I'd be teaching anything bio-related, since the last bio class I took was in high school in 1997. That's old is what they're all saying over here, and at this point, Dr. Dayton's probably expecting an old joke, but he copyrighted a good one for 95 years, so you'll have to wait till next year to hear it. The 3 factors I mentioned earlier got me into this job. First, chance. From an unexpected tragedy came a chance for me to attempt to fill a great man's shoes. Full-time university teaching positions at top-tier universities like these are notoriously difficult to find. I got my foot into a job, foot into a door with the initial part-time job I was reluctant to take and was able to gain valuable experience, lines on my resume, and references. I was lucky. Understand that some things are out of your control and focus instead on how you can get ready for them. Regarding getting ready, I was prepared, even coming from physics. You call it statics and dynamics, I call it Newton's laws. No, nervous system, just a noisy power supply. Same concepts, different applications. Just because your degree is in biomedical engineering doesn't mean that other disciplines are off limits. Our own industry liaison, Preston Lynn, often says of how you are the most versatile and knowledgeable type of engineer. However, if you don't believe this of yourself, then you are the decades-old forgotten Allen wrench in that junk drawer. You are versatile. You are prepared for any field. Embrace it, embody it, otherwise it's not true. A lot of your senior design projects involved identifying a problem in medicine and applying sometimes simple solutions from other engineering disciplines in a way that only a resourceful biomedical engineer could do. Finally, with generous coaching from Drs. Cole and Carty, I recognized the opportunity that I might have turned down hoping for, I don't know, nothing was on my radar at the time. Now I'm happier than a Duke grad being asked where they went to college. Remember that unless you are truly remarkable, no one will come to you with what you want. Do better than me and jump at an imperfect chance. There is no such thing as a perfect job, so stop waiting for it or be paralyzed by indecision. My second anecdote is shorter and more remarkable. Karel Husa was born in Prague, Czechoslovakia in 1921, destined to be a civil engineer. He cobbled a few shoes at his family's shoe store, practiced his violin, played ice hockey and handball, but probably realized that these were not his future. During Husa's first semester in engineering school in 1939, many students in Prague demonstrated against the Nazi occupation on the Czechoslovak Independence Day, culminating in Jan Opletal being mortally wounded in the abdomen. A month later, during Opletal's funeral, thousands of students rioted against autocratic malfeasance, as students are fortunately still wont to do. As dictators detest dissent, thousands of students were arrested, 9 were executed, and more than 1,000 were sent to concentration camps. The Nazi administrator closed all the Czech colleges, echoing history and ending Husa's engineering plans. Luck number 1. Now that he was out of school, he soon received orders to board a train to work in a munitions factory in Dresden. Any student of history or Slaughterhouse 5 knows how this would have ended. Unwisely, he did not board that train, so the SS agent came again and said that he had best not miss that next train, since ignoring such orders was something only fools did. Luck number 2. I've said the things about luck, so how was he prepared? I mentioned he had taken some violin lessons, and on the side he had sketched a few pieces. He had hobbies, like many of you students do. The only school still open in Prague was the Music Conservatory, so he took this opportunity of dodging a work order and avoiding a forthcoming firebombing and enrolled in a music composition program. Certainly not what he had planned to do as he graduated from high school. More than 10 honorary PhDs, Cornell University and Ithaca College professorships, commissions from major orchestras, and countless awards, including the Pulitzer Prize of Music later, I think things worked out quite well for my grandfather. Songs would have been written about his bridges had he been a civil engineer, just like the song about London Bridge, and he felt it best for humanity that he was on the musical side of the story. I've selfishly given you 2 examples, but each of you here today has your own example of something happening and how you overcame it by preparing and seizing opportunities. As I said about 10 minutes ago, ask the adults who are supporting you today about how their lives were a nonlinear path, and you'll hear similarly remarkable stories of unpredictability. Likely many of you graduates yourselves can point to some formative event that you did not expect that led to you being here and pursuing a biomedical engineering degree. Looking ahead, you may worry about the job market and universities being buffeted by mercurial messaging, and to that I do not have a simple solution, regrettably. However, I know that you are prepared with an engineering degree from one of the finest BME programs in the world. You are ready for any opportunity that arises, and like the fractalized self-symmetry of the bronchial tubes or circulatory system, patterns of life are repeated across many length scales. Your last 4 years of success will be like your next 40 years, and while tough, here you are today graduating. Here you are. You made it this time, and you will make it the next time as well. Regarding quantum mechanics, Albert Einstein famously said that God does not play dice. He could not accept some of the random aspects of quantum mechanics. Neither could I. Random aspects of our own lives are just as difficult to accept, even though they clearly happen. Stephen Hawking played on Einstein's quote, saying not only does God definitely play dice, but he sometimes confuses us by throwing them where they can't be seen. Except that the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune will fly, and realize you can't always understand why they happen, or even if they're good or bad. But in time, if you are patient and prepared, and play your dice right from this day forward, in expectation of something unexpected, then you will succeed, whenever that may be, wherever that may be, and whatever that may be. Congrats, everybody. I'm done with lecturing you for a long time, but please, as you go out and do great things and solve problems and go to universities and get jobs, come back and stay in touch with us. It's really what makes this job meaningful for everyone up on the stage is our interactions with you during the 4th years, and sometimes even more excitingly, the ones that happen afterwards when you come and tell us what has happened with you. So don't be shy, don't be a stranger. Come and see us again. Congratulations. Good afternoon. I'm now Dr. Leanne Carty. Let me try that again. Good afternoon. I'm now Leanne Carty. Unfortunately, she has no voice because she's from the planet Jupiter, which has a lower ambient pressure than Earth, and thus her triple helix vocal cords cannot maintain the adequate stress on this planet to vibrate. Once again, congrats on being here and all you've accomplished. An engineering degree from a prestigious program is something few can claim, and you have the right to be proud of your work. But it's likely not something that you did alone. It takes the support network that is here today to make it through such a rigorous major. Let's give those family, friends, faculty, and staff out in the audience and up here a big thank you for all they've done to help you get here. Back to you, former undergrads. Some of you thought, apparently, that our curriculum alone wasn't hard enough, so you did more. We'd like to recognize you for that, so please stand if I call out something that you have done. First, some distinguished honors. Stand up if you received Honors Carolina or University Honors or Scholars. Don't be shy. No. Stand up or stay standing if you received departmental honors or completed an honors thesis. Stand up if you completed a minor or 2 or 3. If a minor wasn't enough classwork, how about a second major? And some of you did more than just classes. Stand up if you studied abroad. Stand up if you conducted independent research here or at an REU elsewhere. Stand up if you worked in an internship or did a co-op. Stand up if you were an interprofessional education scholar, IPEP scholar. It's a UNC program. Don't fault the NC State students. If you placed in a design competition, including I4, please stand up. Stand up if you competed as a varsity athlete. Besides yourselves, some of you have focused on others and given back to the larger community. Stand up if you are a member of any BME-related club or service or outreach organization. And remain standing if you were an officer in any BME-related club. Stand up if you were a department, college, or university ambassador. You've sold our programs and universities well. Stand up if you were involved with the TA or undergraduate learning assistant programs. Thank you for responding to my emails. And finally, stand up if you were commissioned as an officer in the United States Armed Forces. What? Or National Guard. Sorry, and stand up, please, if you were commissioned as an officer in the National Guard. Finally, as I said initially, getting to this point is something special that not everybody can do. Many of you, to do this, had to work a late night. Stand up and remain standing if you worked a late night, once or twice. I apologize for those late nights. You may have a seat. At last, the reason you're here. Students, you will walk across the stage once I call your name, receive your diploma cover from Dr. Dayton, then come to the spot over there marked with a blue X to have a picture taken with Dr. Atkins. We have a professional photographer who will take your picture. Then you'll continue across the stage this way, in front of me, back to your seat. If you have your own photography crew who think a picture taken in the dark with a phone older than your BME career is a better idea, then they may come as well and take a picture. There will also be lots of times for photo ops with all of the faculty and staff outside after the ceremony. So please, first row, you may rise and follow the procedure out. You'll see that they have some help over there. They will guide you to the stage. Sunita Marie Agarwala. Stacy Elaine Andrews. Ava DeCarlo Armstrong. Sarah Asher. Artemis Lee Badger. David Richard Barr. Emily Ann Beckman. Elena Kaznicki Burney. Adithi Bharathkumar. Megan Alice Brantley. Benjamin Rafael Vargas Brigino. William John Brooks. Connor Lance Brian Hagler. Rutherford Calvin Bryson IV. Miguel Kanamari Otash. Durju Janev. Joanna Delarino Cardenas. Samantha Marie Kuru. Jacob William Casey. Sarah Courtney Cavatoni. Colby Carter Cheney. Casey Franklin Chasen. Kevin Chang. Che Andy Song Yol. Devin Alexis Shalon. Gabrielle Marie Citrano. Audrey Jo Clark. Kevin Mitchell Clark. Noah Chadwick Cleaton. Preeti Lydia Coulter. Declan Hewitt Davis. Kino Alan Deligero. Nishant Dengi. Nyanashekaran Dhanashekar. Samanyu Avinash Dikshith. Yun Dong. Nonsikelelo Colette dos Santos. Spencer John Overton Doherty. Charles David Duchesne. Cayman Silas Edmondson. Srinidhi Alaya Perumal. He was out of order. Okay. Is he next? Howland Bright Croswell. I couldn't see him. I thought he was not good. Jessica Elise Ing. Sorry. Alicia Kokeka Ekwan. Jasmine Fischetti. Josue Fernandez, Jr. Samantha Renee Florak. Emily Elizabeth Foley. Owen Livingston Fry. Paige McKenna Gill. Nathan Goodwin Glimpf. Danica Holly Grant. Neve Gupta. Unshika Gupta. Brooke Robertson Hawkins. Hattie Eliza Hensley. Kubrick Caleb Hilton. Michaela Lamoy Hines. William Heath Holbrook. Grant Preston Holland. Noor Amjad Horani. Sophia Ray Hilton Hauk. Samuel Thomas Hoy. Amy Hume. Anthony Wade Wynn King. Jahosh Prakash Jabaraj. Maria Kate Jenkins. Jaden Malaparambil Joseph. Ryan Paul Joseph. Charles Bergen Kale. Kelly Yang Kang. Zaina Karimi. Aoife Catherine Kelly. Janna Khalifallah. Matthew Shihui Kuk. Nishanth Kanduru. Karen Ashley Kong. Carly Jean Coop. Noah Thomas Lambert. Andrew Craig Lane. John Tuan Lee. Herim Lee. Wen Leong Lee. Emma Cheryl Little. Lily Claire Loker. Tyler Jacob Lotz. Sophia Ang Lee. Jackson Scott Lyman. Brendan Michael Lyons. Lana Ray Mizell. Miguel Angel Martinez Leal. Hanlon Rose Mayhew. Aiden Brady McCloskey. Matthew James Mello. Sydney Alyssa Menendez. Colby Michael Menon. Connor Michael Marin. Aram Reza Mirabadini. Connor John Moore. Avery Elizabeth Murray. Kyle Thomas Newman. Tyler Hugh Ho Win. Shurin Ni. Munish Sai Nidadavolu. Madison Taylor Norum. Alicia Elizabeth Norman. Domenico Robert Norton. Milana Alexis Nostrand. Isaac Jacob Paulino. Elena Marie Parker. Megan Avery Parker. Akshar Mahendra Patel. Sujay Anil Patel. Mohammed Ashraf Patel. John Charles Pawlowski. Oyenpriye Chibuikem Taribo Porbeni. Shri Shruti Potlaru. Anna Catherine Powell. Rahul Abhijit Pradhan. Amin B. Prasanna. Amy Eleanor Preston. Allison Rose Pridmore. Stella Marie Profiter. Cooper Mark Putnam. Yamini Ramadurai. Matthew Robert Ramsey. Dhruv Ranganath. Stephen Anthony Recchio. Isabel Salazar Ray. Sure. Ashley Nicole Sanchez Reyes. Heather Elizabeth Reinhardt. Emily Barbara Roger. Jacob Andrew Rose. Srigori Radravaram. Isabella Uriel Ruiz. Carmen Francis Segues. Nikhil Richard Sothyanathan. Jordan Marie Saunders. Jordan. You're Jordan. Hi, Jordan. Congratulations, Jordan. William Amonette Sellers. William Yeonyong Sung. Alexa Ann Schaefer. Bisan Nasfat Shahada. Kamil Na Sirwa. Sherman. Carl Rashad Schroff. Chinmay Singh. Nirandra Sivakumar. Noah Sushil Solomon. Hannah Grace Spainhour. Eden Rain Catania Spofford. Raghav Sriram. Joseph Robert Stark. Elias George Starogiannis. Taylor Alexandra Stith. Caroline Grace Strickland. Tyler David Tan. Max Barkley Turbonia. Perry Kai Sun Tseng. Varun Varadarajan. Vinusha Venkatesh. Srilekha Venkatraman. Ryan Adam Voorhees. Harry Wang. Jackson Luke Williams. Mila Lynette Williams. Duncan Paul Wilson. Gavin Aday Ethan Wiltshire. John Kyler Zeno. Let's give a big round of applause for all of the undergraduates. So recently in the department, we've added an accelerated bachelor-master's program, or an ABM, which allows students to get a master's degree and double count some classes from undergrad, as well as take some extra classes while we're there, so that they can get a master's degree sometimes within a semester or a year, or maybe a semester and a half. We had an early admit to the program, which officially starts this fall, who will be graduating in December. However, we do want to recognize her and give her the chance to be acknowledged for her hard work so far. So, Magdalene Noel Samuda.
Hey everybody, my name is Matt Penny. I am the director of the MS MedTech Innovation and Entrepreneurship Program, which is an 11-month master's program at NC State and UNC. It's not your typical graduate experience. Over the past 11 months, our 12 students have conceptualized, built, and extensively tested 3 medical devices to solve 3 clinical needs with real-world constraints. They spent 475 hours embedded in our local hospitals, working to fundamentally understand the problems that frustrate providers and the patients who live them every day. These numbers only tell a part of our story. Over 1,600 combined hours in our incubator lab, 3 provisional patent applications, 3 functioning prototypes, and nearly $29,000 in non-dilutive funding raised, exceeding every cohort we've had except for one. Hopefully that's a sign of bigger things to come. These students didn't start with solutions. Instead, they started with curiosity. They observed, they listened, they challenged assumptions, and by the end of the summer, each had a problem worth solving. In the fall, they formed teams around 3 of those problems: laparoscopic specimen retrieval that isn't yet minimally invasive, Barrett's esophagus biopsies that isn't yet precise, and fecal management systems for ICU patients that aren't yet leak-free. These students got to work, turning ambiguity into direction, raw materials into what we call minimum awesome prototypes that prove the feasibility of their novel solutions to the aforementioned problems. By spring, the stakes were real. The students formed companies and continued to iterate their solutions on the bench and with real users. They dug deep into risk management and regulatory strategy while collaborating with NC State's Industrial Design Program on human factors and UNC's Keenan Flagler Business School on go-to-market strategies. In parallel, they spent months and months fundraising to secure financing for the next steps. To our students, you've done something genuinely difficult. You've navigated uncertainty, disagreement, technical setbacks, and time pressure. You learned how to build, but more importantly, you learned to decide what's worth building and to keep going when it gets hard. These are the real skills. To the parents and families and friends here today, thank you. You've supported these students through long hours, high stress, and probably a few moments when they question what they signed up for. Your support matters more than you know. A year ago, our 7th MedTech cohort walked in with curiosity, energy, and ambition. And today, they leave with a graduate degree and the experience of having built something from nothing alongside a team, under pressure, with real stakes. And that changes how you see problems. It changes how you approach uncertainty, and it changes what you believe is possible. So to our students, this is just the beginning of your journey to make healthcare more efficient, effective, and empathetic. And to everyone here, thank you for being a part of it. Congratulations, MedTech Class of 2026.
John Araujo. Jonathan Badillo. Casey Byrne. Adam Gilla. Katie McCormack. Maxwell Miller. Yashika Paramkusham. Sham Patel. Jeremy Picado. Michael Squillachotti. Ryan Teague. Sophia Villani. And one last round of applause for our MS MedTech graduates.
All right, last but certainly not least, the PhD, or Doctor of Philosophy, is a terminal academic degree. It represents a high depth of academic achievement. It can take 5 to 6 years of hard work, focus, failure, grit, and determination to formulate new and impactful research questions, execute a rigorous experimental design, and clearly communicate these findings in a dissertation document and peer-reviewed publications. So kudos to you all. In addition to awarding the diplomas today, there is a hooding ceremony in which the candidate's advisor or another faculty member will hood the graduate, signifying both the passing of knowledge to the next generation as well as a commitment to lifelong scholarly pursuits. In addition to the graduate's name, I will also read the name of their faculty advisor and the title of their dissertation. Wish me luck. Kyla Brianna Bosch. Development and progression of musculoskeletal detriments following brachial plexus birth injury under the direction of Dr. Jacqueline Cole. Emily Catherine Eichenlaub, leveraging anticipation to investigate proactive and reactive balance responses with clinical applications in aging and dementia with Lewy bodies, under the direction of Dr. Jason Franz. Katie Heath, an adaptive deep learning approach for the prediction of anatomical changes during radiotherapy treatment of head and neck cancer using fractional cone beam CT images, under the direction of Dr. David Lelouch. Kirsty Queener, self-adhesive conductive elastomers for gel-free biopotential recording, under the direction of Dr. Michael Danielle. Anastasia Elaine Sheridan Muñana, fibrin-centric transfusion therapies to establish hemostatic balance in patients with thrombotic complications, under the direction of Dr. Ashley Brown. Yusuf Shwatar, elevating standard eye tests to identify rare eye diseases, under the direction of Dr. Melissa Handel. Jack Twitty, miniaturized modular and discrete analog front-end circuits for mobile electrochemical biosensors, under the direction of Dr. Michael Danielle. Madeline Aaron Van Blanc, biomaterials manufacture and deliver CAR T cells locally for potent glioblastoma treatment, under the direction of Dr. Yevgeny Brudno. Victoria Yarmy, Stop and Smell the Roses, investigating the neuronal role in the C. elegans oxidative stress response, under the direction of Dr. Adriana San Miguel. Keita Yokoyama, advancements in double profile intersection and viscoelastic response imaging for on-axis surveillance of renal allograft dysfunction, under the direction of Dr. Katerina Galippi. Congrats. Minhui Yu, AI-driven multimodal neuroimage analyses for assessing clinical progression of subjective cognitive decline, under the direction of Mingxia Liu. Let's give all of our master's and PhD graduates one more round of applause.
Yes, very important. We have now come to the end of the 2026 Joint Department of Biomedical Engineering commencement ceremony. Our students have now completed the first leg of their journey, Of course, for today's graduates, this is not an end, it is just a milestone. And like Dr. Husseini, they are really just getting ready for the ultra-marathon that will be their career as biomedical engineers. It is important to note that achieving this milestone has not been done in a vacuum, and I want to recognize the families, friends, and colleagues who have supported our students over the years. It has been your support that has helped our graduates make it through when going was difficult. On this special day, I also want to give a special shout out to our mothers. Happy Mother's Day, and thank you for sharing your day with our graduates. I also want to specifically thank the faculty and staff of the Joint Department, many of whom are here today, for sharing their time and their lives with our graduates. And special thanks to our organizing team, Kat Clardy, Woody Catherwood, Carrie Williams, Vilma Berg, Yvette Thompson, for their time putting this together, as well as Charles Hall, Toller Ray, Chris Williams, and Adam Jennings for their audiovisual support. Thanks, guys. And I want to recognize the transformative support of Dr. Ross Lampe, Jr., for whom our department is now named. Dr. Lampe's enthusiasm and confidence in us and for the future of biomedical engineering in our department has led to an endowment for our program that will enhance our impact for the benefit of students, faculty, the state of North Carolina, and the country in perpetuity. Thank you, Dr. Lampe. And to our graduates, it is now time to go out into the world to continue to learn, to ideate, to invent, to build, to educate, to provide, and to continue our mission to unite engineering and medicine to improve lives. As you do this, stay in touch with the BME department. Connect with BME on LinkedIn, X, Instagram, or whatever's next. I don't know. And continue to share our mission to give back to our program and to engage and inspire the next generation of biomedical engineers. Our program has now come to a close. Please remain seated while the processional exits. And let's give our graduates one more big round of congratulations.
you.